I'm Hassanel, and this is Nightline. The top stories. Sultan Ibrahim sworn in as 17th Yang di-Pertuan Agong. And MACC freezes Tan Sri's multi-million ringgit bank accounts. Good morning. Sultan Ibrahim of Johor was sworn in as the new Yang di-Pertuan Agong in a ceremony steeped in tradition at Istana Negara on Wednesday. At the same ceremony, the Sultan of Perak, Sultan Nazrin Shah, also took the oath of office as the Deputy Yang di-Pertuan Agong. Sultan Ibrahim and Sultan Nazrin took their oaths and signed the instruments of office before the other Malay rulers from Terengganu, Selangor, Negeri Sembilan, Perak and Kedah, as well as the regions of Johor, Pahang and Perlis, Tengku Mahkota of Kelantan, governors of Melaka, Pulau Pinang, Sabah and Sarawak, as well as dignitaries from the executive, legislative and judiciary. Sultan Ibrahim arrived at Istana Negara at 10:40 a.m. and was greeted by Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim. His Majesty then acknowledged the royal salute from the main guard of honour mounted by 4 officers and 103 men from the 1st Battalion Royal Malay Regiment at the Palace Square. Simultaneously, the 40-member central band of the Royal Malay Regiment played the national anthem Negaraku before His Majesty inspected the main guard of honour. After the ceremony, Sultan Ibrahim proceeded to the Balairung Sri for the 264th special meeting of the Conference of Rulers in conjunction with the swearing-in ceremony, which was presided over by Sultan Mizan Zainal Abidin of Terengganu. Sultan Ibrahim and Sultan Nazrin Shah then took their oaths and signed the instruments of office before the Malay rulers and other attendees.
Kami, Sultan Ibrahim Ibn Almarhum Sultan Iskandar, Yang di-Pertuan Agong bagi Malaysia, bersumpah dengan melafazkan Wallahi, Wabillahi, Wataulahi. Maka dengan lafaz ini berikrarlah kami dengan sesungguh dan dengan sebenarnya mengaku akan taat setia pada menjalankan dengan adilnya pemerintahan bagi Malaysia dengan mengikut sebagaimana undang-undang dan perlembagaan yang telah disah dan dimasyhurkan.
Sultan Ibrahim also signed the proclamation of assuming the office of the 17th Yang di-Pertuan Agong and Sultan Nazrin the office of the Deputy Yang di-Pertuan Agong. The Prime Minister then read out the instrument of the proclamation officially signifying Sultan Ibrahim's ascension to the federal throne as the new head of state of Malaysia in accordance with the laws and the federal constitution. Sultan Ibrahim replaces Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah of Pahang, whose 5-year reign as the 16th Yang di-Pertuan Agong ended on Tuesday. Meanwhile, the government fully supports His Majesty Sultan Ibrahim's order for the country to continue its good, transparent governance, as well as sustainable economic growth and focus on efforts to improve the people's living standard. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim said it resonated with millions of Malaysians' aspirations to see the country's continued stability for their prosperity and well-being, as well as have opportunities and a better future for all. He also congratulated Sultan Ibrahim on His Majesty's ascension to the federal throne as the 17th Yang di-Pertuan Agong. Anwar also said he will continue to pledge allegiance as well as unwavering obedience and loyalty to His Majesty. He also prayed that Sultan Ibrahim and all the royal family members be always blessed with good health, prosperity and sovereignty. Malaysia is poised to enter a period of progress with Sultan Ibrahim's ascension to the throne as the 17th Yang di-Pertuan Agong as part of the country's distinctive rotating monarchy. The new king is expected to chart a new course for Malaysia's future with his more hands-on approach and genuine concern for the people. Nightline's Alif Yunus reports.
Sultan Ibrahim Sultan Iskandar's ascension to become Malaysia's 17th Yang di-Pertuan Agong has a profound significance for all Malaysians. His reign carries the people's hope towards a brighter future defined by unity, inclusivity, progress and national pride. Known for his firm yet progressive stance and close connections to his subjects, Sultan Ibrahim is positioned to play a distinctive role in shaping Malaysia's image both domestically and on the international stage. Geostrategist Professor Azmi Hassan believes that the new king's leadership style can inject a fresh dimension to Malaysia's diplomatic and economic narrative.
In 2001, when he was the Putera Mahkota, he created the Kembara Mahkota Johor, and he continued it when he assigned to the Sultan. And I'm sure he will continue as a Yang di-Pertuan Agong. So Kembara Mahkota Johor is Sultan Ibrahim's way to get in touch with his subject, with the ordinary citizen. That's at national level. And at the international level, Sultan Ibrahim is very articulate. Similar to the, I would say, Sultanah of Johor. Very, very articulate, very, very intellectual, except that we misunderstood Sultan Ibrahim because of his, very front when he said his opinion. So I guess at the national level, international level, it will create a new atmosphere when Sultan Ibrahim is the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. I would say that China is very important. And Sultan Ibrahim, the Majesty, is very close, very cordial to China. So I would say that it is going to be a very active trade activity between Malaysia and China, and Sultan Ibrahim will play a positive role. And I said this is a positive role as a national duty, not as a personal side of it.
Meanwhile, constitutional law expert Associate Professor Datuk Dr. Syam Rahayu Abdul Aziz highlights the importance of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong across all three branches of government as a crucial mechanism for maintaining a robust system of checks and balance. She went on to say that Johor's historical journey served as a crucial backdrop for understanding Sultan Ibrahim's role as the new king.
The Yang di-Pertuan Agong shall be the prime check and balance authority, whereby for instance, if there's any political instability, that means that the parliamentary democracy is not stable, then the constitution provides for the powers and functions of the institution. As we have seen, the experience of the country previous years, what we can expect the institution, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, shall always become the institution that neutralize the situation and at the same time will be able to protect the sovereignty of the nation.
Sultan Ibrahim is known for being magnanimous and outspoken, and he is considered to be a caring and progressive ruler. He is known for his various philanthropic efforts and initiatives aimed at improving the well-being of the people in Johor, especially the less fortunate. Alif Yunus, Nightline, TV3.
How are retailers addressing the shift in consumer behavior, prioritizing essential purchases? And how are retailers leveraging on the expected rise in sales during the Chinese New Year period? Money Matters with Malaysia Retailers Association President Dato' Andrew Lim Tat Kiong this Saturday on TV3 and live HD stream on Tonton.
The Cabinet has agreed to continue the freeze of foreign workers quota that was introduced in March last year. Home Minister Datuk Sri Saifuddin Ismail said there is no need to lift the freeze as the total quota approved was already enough.
Kerana jumlah kota yang telah diluluskan ditambah dengan program rekalibrasi yang didaftar, apabila kita proses yang ini, kita mampu memenuhi keperluan tenaga kerja, pekerja asing. Jadi, polisi untuk membekukan penggunaan kuota kita teruskan.
At a press conference in Putrajaya on Wednesday, Saifuddin said the Cabinet also agreed to revisit the Memoranda of Understanding, MOU, with Nepal, Bangladesh and Indonesia on the hiring and recruitment of foreign workers. He said this was because the three countries contribute 77% of foreign workers in the country. Saifuddin added that the Cabinet meeting had also agreed to establish a one-stop centre to expedite the application process of migrant workers. He also announced a new program of repatriation involving migrant workers, which will start on March 1st this year. The aim of the program is to allow migrant workers who are not part of the workforce to return to their home country without being prosecuted for immigration offences in Malaysia. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, has frozen several bank accounts believed to hold tens of millions of ringgit belonging to a businessman with a Tan Sri title. According to a source within the agency, the action was taken following MACC's investigation into contracts awarded to a government vehicle supply company since July last year. The source said the MACC had previously raided the home and company of the businessman in his 70s, seizing financial documents that could aid the probe. The anti-graft agency also had recorded statements from witnesses, including government agencies and those from the company involved, which had secured contracts for supplying and managing the government's vehicle fleet. More than 100 private accounts and companies worth millions of ringgit under the control of the Tan Sri in question have been analysed to study the money transfers to specific individuals. MACC Senior Director of Investigations, Datuk Sri Hishamuddin Hashim, confirmed the matter when contacted and said that the case is being investigated under the MACC Act. Previously, it was reported that the MACC raided the home of a tycoon with the title Tan Sri, who was believed to be linked to a corruption investigation related to the tendering of a government vehicle supply, repair and maintenance project worth 4.5 billion ringgit. The issue of pardon concerning former Prime Minister Datuk Sri Muhammad Najib Tun Razak was discussed at the Cabinet meeting on Wednesday. Communications Minister Fahmi Fadzil said any decision on the matter can only be issued by the relevant authority. Fahmi, who is also Unity Government spokesman, reminded local and foreign media practitioners to wait for an official statement from the Pardons Board regarding Najib's application for pardon.
Tapi saya minta bantuan kepada semua rakan-rakan media, let's not jump the gun. Let us wait for an official statement to be made and follow that due process. Kalau tak, nanti menimbulkan pelbagai reaksi dan bagi saya kita perlu menonjolkan profesionalisme dalam membuat pelaporan.
Fahmi said this at a press conference in Putrajaya on Wednesday when asked to comment on a foreign media report which claimed that Najib's jail sentence for corruption has been reduced to 6 years from 12 years following his application for pardon. Najib has been jailed since August 23, 2022, after the federal court upheld his conviction for criminal breach of trust, power abuse and money laundering in connection with funds of 42 million ringgit from SRC International, a former subsidiary of One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB. 4 of the 6 women connected to the infamous Hot Daddy Jiggalo case have pleaded guilty to charges of possessing obscene videos for public view. They were fined between 2,500 ringgit and 4,800 ringgit by 3 magistrates' courts in Kuala Lumpur on Wednesday after pleading guilty to the charge, while 2 other women claimed trial. 2 of the accused, 22-year-old Nur Nabilah Ayuni Hanafi and 26-year-old Amira Natasha Muhammad Razman, were fined 3,000 ringgit each by Magistrate Atikah Muhammad at Muhammad Saim, while Nur Alia Muhammad Rosli, 22, and Farah Adila Hanum Khairuddin, 36, were fined 4,800 ringgit and 2,500 ringgit respectively by Magistrates Ili Mariska Khalizan and Nur Aliana Hanim Abdul Halim. All 4 paid the fines. 2 others, Nur Fatihah Ramle, 30, and Felicia Lisa Nandong, 21, pleaded not guilty before magistrates Nurul Izzah Shaharuddin and MS Arun Jyoti. Both magistrates set bail at 3,000 ringgit and 2,000 ringgit with 1 surety respectively for the duo and set March 12th and 26th for mention. All of them were charged with committing the offence at the Wangsa Maju District Police Headquarters on Tuesday. The charge under Section 292(a) of the Penal Code carries a jail term up to 3 years or fine or both if convicted. Last week, a man known as Hot Daddy, who was believed to have a background as Jiggalo, was charged together with his 2 female companions in the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court with selling videos of himself engaging in sexual activities with multiple women on social media. Media Prima Group Managing Director Rafiq Razali has been appointed Chairman of the Communications and Multimedia Content Forum of Malaysia, CMCF. CMCF said Rafiq's appointment came after its recently concluded annual general meeting. In a statement on Wednesday, CMCF said Rafiq in his new role will lead efforts to shape a robust self-regulatory framework for the communications and multimedia content industry. Together with the Content Forum's council members, he also will formulate strategic initiatives aligning with the organization's vision, placing significant emphasis on self-regulation and best practices essential for industry growth and consumer protection. Meanwhile, Rafiq said he was thankful for the role and looks forward to upholding and raising the bar on the work done by the Content Forum since its inception. He also underscored the imperative of evolving to meet the ever-expanding content landscape's dynamic demands, where he expressed the need for regulations and influence to extend a wider spectrum of platform and industries. Pakistan's Imran Khan gets 14-year jail sentence. News from the foreign front when we return.
Okay, today we fight for Malaysia. John the John. Harimau.
Joss. Extra Joss dengan Royal Gel, ginseng Korea dan vitamin B kompleks.
Bersama kekal bertenaga. John the Joss.
Extra Joss.
Kerja dah gempak. Memang nombor 1 lah. Tapi
came here to fire you, Jerry.
Kena pecat pula. I see. Tak apa. Don't worry, bro. Hidup baru je nak bermula.
I will go with you. That is the first time I have ever seen him kiss a man just like a dad.
Jerry Maguire, Jumaat ini 10 malam di TV3 Cinema dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
बहुत दर्द हो रहा है
अली
कौन है आप लोग? जादूगर उड़न खटोला लेकर दूसरी चाल के साथ तैयार रहेंगे।
Alibaba, Dustin di Kabul. Setiap Isnin hingga Kamis 4 petang di Sonia TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
We're back with news from the foreign front. Amid heavy bombardments by the Zionist regime on Gaza, at least 30 Palestinian bodies were discovered at the Khalifa bin Zayed School in Beit Lahia on Wednesday, which at one point sheltered thousands of displaced people. The authorities accused of the Israeli forces of execution-style killings after the victims were found blindfolded with their hands bound. Meanwhile, Israel bombarded parts of the city of Khan Yunis in southern Gaza, districts of Gaza City in the north, and areas in the Al-Nusayrat refugee camp in central Gaza. Over the past 24 hours, the attacks have claimed at least 150 Palestinian lives, raising the death toll in the besieged enclave to 26,900. Despite this, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu continued to reject a proposal by Hamas to end the war and release captives in exchange for withdrawing Israeli forces, while vowing to continue the Gaza attack. Meanwhile, no organization can replace the humanitarian role played by the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East, UNRWA, and the Gaza Strip. UN Humanitarian Coordinator Sigrid Kaag warned that by withdrawing funds from UNRWA, it would result in the collapse of humanitarian system in the besieged enclave. She also said that it was very crucial to recognize UNWRA's role in the Gaza Strip, adding that no other organization can provide food, water, and medicine at the scale that UNRWA had done. The UN agency has long been under scrutiny by Israel, which accused it of systematically going against the country's interests. Several countries, including the United States, Britain, Germany, and Japan, have suspended funding to the UNRWA agency. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan and his wife Bushra Bibi have been sentenced to 14 years in jail after the couple were found guilty of illegally profiting from state gifts. Khan and his wife were charged with illegally selling gifts worth more than $500,000 in state possession, received during his 2018 to 2022 premiership. The sentencing came a day after Imran Khan was handed a 10-year jail term in another case in which he was convicted of revealing state secrets. However, it was not immediately clear if the two sentences for Khan would run concurrently. Meanwhile, his wife Bibi gave herself up for arrest shortly after the verdict. Japan secure comfortable win over Bahrain. Sports after this breather.
Kerja dah gempak. Memang nombor satu lah. Tapi
Came here to fire you, Jerry.
kena pecat pula. I see. Tak apa. Don't worry, bro. Hidup baru je nak bermula.
I will go with you. That is the first time I have ever seen him kiss a man just like a dad.
Jerry Maguire, Jumaat ini 10 malam di TV3 Cinema dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Money Matters is back with a new season. Your key insights into finance. Money Matters. Every Saturday, 5 p.m. Only on TV3 and stream now on Tonton.
Awak kenapa?
Saya menyesal sebab saya mengandung.
Apa masalah you?
I dah bagi you semua benda you tahu tak?
You sikit pun tak kenang jasa I tolong you.
Tapi kau ni kawan makan cawan! Berat apa tu? I nak berhenti.
Kau sanggup lepaskan Daniel pada lelaki yang tak bertanggungjawab?
Cinta Bersemi di Wadi Safia. Setiap Isnin hingga Jumaat 7 malam. Terbaru di Akasia TV3.
We begin sports with football, the AFC Asian Cup. Four-time champions Japan eased into the quarterfinals following a 3-1 victory over Bahrain on Wednesday. Japan broke the deadlock in the 31st minute when Ritsu Don slotted in a goal following a rebound from Seiya Maikuma's shot. Takefusa Kubo then made it 2-0 just 4 minutes into the second half. But Bahrain halved the deficit in the 64th minute through an own goal by Japan's goalkeeper Zion Suzuki. However, Ayase Huda restored the Samurai Blues cushion in the 72nd minute when he fired home through the legs of Bahrain's goalkeeper. In another match, South Korea beat Saudi Arabia 4-2 in a penalty shootout to advance to the quarterfinals after a thrilling last 16 tie ended 1-1 after extra time. After a goalless first half, Saudi Arabia took the lead just 1 minute after the break via substitute Abdullah Hadi Radif. South Korea finally equalized in the 9th minute of added time when Cho Gu-sung headed home from close range to force extra time and eventually the penalty shootout. In the shootout, Jo Hyun-woo emerged as the hero as he saved 2 attempts from Sami Al-Naji and Abdul Rahman Gharib, setting up a meeting with Australia in the last 8. On to hockey. Malaysia created history in the men's hockey Fives World Cup after beating Poland 4-3 to qualify for the final on Tuesday. Arif Shafi'i shot gave Malaysia the lead in the 7th minute, but Poland hit back 2 minutes later through Damian Jarzembowski. However, Kamaruzaman Kamaruddin restored the advantage in the 19th minute before captain Akimullah Anwar Isuk scored twice in 22nd and 24th minutes to extend the lead to 4-1. Poland tried to make a comeback through 2 late goals, but Malaysia held on until the final whistle. Malaysia will play Netherlands in the final on Thursday. Up next, illicit cigarettes worth over 2 million seized. Don't go away.
Kerja dah gempak. Memang nombor 1 lah. Tapi
came here to fire you, Jerry.
Kena pecat pula. I see. Tak apa. Don't worry, bro. Hidup baru je nak bermula.
I will go with you. That is the first time I have ever seen him kiss a man just like a dad.
Jerry Maguire, Jumaat ini 10 malam di TV3 Cinema dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Money Matters is back with a new season. Your key insights into finance. Money Matters. Every Saturday, 5 p.m. Only on TV3 and stream now on Tonton.
बहुत दर्द हो रहा है?
Ali.
कौन है आप लोग? जादूगर उड़न खटोला लेकर दूसरी चाल के साथ तैयार रहेंगे.
Alibaba, Dustin di Kabul. Setiap Isnin hingga Kamis 4 petang di Sonia TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Welcome back. The Pahang Customs Department intercepted an 8-ton lorry on the Kuala Lumpur-Karak Highway recently, seizing contraband cigarettes with 2.6 million ringgit in unpaid duties. Its director, Muhammad Asri Saman, said acting on a tip-off, the enforcement team had tailed the lorry bound for Kuala Lumpur from Kelantan before flagging it down near Batu Caves, Selangor. The team then discovered over 3.9 million sticks of smuggled cigarettes, estimated to be worth 363,400 ringgit in the vehicle. The total value of the seizure, including the lorry, was more than 3 million ringgit. It was also believed that the syndicate had used bonded trucks to transport the smuggled cigarettes during peak hours to avoid detection by authorities. The lorry driver, a local in his 30s, has been arrested to help with the investigation under the Customs Act. Former national fencer Mok Cheng Long has been involved in the sport for close to 50 years and has actively been nurturing new generations of fencers across the decades. FMT's Noah Wong and Dinesh Kumar Magananthan have the story.
My name is Coach Mok. My students call me Coach Mok. I've been involved in fencing since 1975.
Thrust, parry, dodge. Fencing is usually seen as a sport for rich Western folks. But there is one misconception Mok Cheng Long hopes to change. The 61-year-old is a former national fencer. He's also the proud father of Andrew Mok, a national fencer himself. Mok has been fencing since his teenage years and was a protege of Ronnie Thassera, a Malaysian Olympian who introduced fencing to schools.
You know, young boy like you lah, watch Zorro, wow, okay, fencing, very excited. So I enrolled in the club lah.
The young Mok eventually joined tournaments and even represented Malaysia in the 1989 SEA Games.
1989, that's the time where fencing in Malaysia made a great impact. That time we were very small following. The team won 1 gold, 2 silver, 5 bronzes. So that was a very good result.
In addition to educating Malaysians on the sport, his goal was to train future fencers who could rival his own expertise. Since then, thousands of students have been under MACC's tutelage, and many have become coaches and national fencers in their own right, including, of course, his son, Andrew. That said, MACC acknowledges that the sport can appear inaccessible at times, especially with lack of venues being an issue.
If you want to go play badminton, you know the badminton court are there. If you want to play football, there's a football field. You play basketball, there's a court.
MACC says the sport itself is easy to learn and master, and he's happy to offer free trials to curious Malaysians out there. Ladies and gentlemen, young and old, are all welcome to pick up the blade. But is it a safe sport?
Very safe. You see, they wear masks like the pictures. See, it's very safe, all properly covered. And then the blade material is not easy breakable. If it breaks, also it won't have sharp edges.
Ultimately, fencing is like a game of chess, with your mind being as important as your muscles. If you have both, chances are you're on your way to mastering the blade. Dinesh Kumar Maganathan and Noel Wong, FMT Lifestyle for Nightline.
As we wrap up Nightline this time around, let's take a look at the Venice Carnival, where visitors enjoyed what could be the last year of free access for day trippers to the historic lagoon city before a much-debated fee comes into effect. I'm Liyana Hassanel. Thank you for tuning in, and be well, Malaysia.